Jeepers. Here we are. Ladies and gents, it's a very great evening. Yeah. We are here, right? Looking at season 2 and episode 39 of the Slyso TV podcast. Quite a few things happening all around. I need to fix my stuff, eh? This is all working alone. I go students, funa ukuzokenza internship. Huh? Come on. Drop me, I think it's called forward movement at gmail.com. If you leave around, especially the GP Pretoria side of town, make sure that you drop me an email. Never know. You and I might be the best of friends, and I might not have all of these challenges that I have. My goodness. Okay. Now that we've come down, how are you guys doing? What a very interesting time since we last spoke on the Slyso TV podcast, man. It's just been things popping, things happening. This is something I need to really fix. That is irritating. Only I can hear. When you say that you are ADHD, right? Yeah, when you're like, everything isn't working. But anyway, welcome to it, ladies and gents. I hope that you had a great Monday. Okay, for a start. Couple of things have been happening. The MADLANGA WARD is all up in the news. Matlala was like, hey, I'm going to take a plea and be in jail for 10 years, suspended, get 8 years, and all of that. But he comes back today when I'm like, I near man. Near folk man. I was just playing with y'all people. What's wrong with y'all? That was him. We'll get to hear about that a little bit later on the podcast. And of course, SIU in the Free State, it's not really a topical story much, but there's a little angle I wanna get into as far as it is concerned. And of course, you lazy goddamn South Africans. That's what they called you, right? Leading up to 30 June. And for us to wake up on a Monday, I think the story was broken yesterday. No, Saturday for that matter, about the Malawian lady who just decided, hey, yazi yini mphathi ngiyahamba ngiye so asihlangane mfethu. So things popped as far as that one is concerned. Well, coping under these challenges, circumstances. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've got a couple of people. I've got a couple of people. Omazwai just send us a message. That is why I'm laughing. But anyway, if you want to be part of the podcast this evening, make sure that you watch us on Facebook or YouTube, the Slyso TV podcast. And on Facebook, it will be on my Facebook page in the interim while we're busy fixing things. But anyway, let's get right down to business, guys. There's something I really, really, really want to get on, right? It's never really happened to me. It's never really happened to me. I get on social media platforms. I'll be all serious for some people to comment, and sometimes I'll just talk straight up nonsense. It's like, by comedian or some stuff like that. But something happened over the weekend, or past couple of days. All right, that involve a good friend of mine, a good sister, been in it for quite some time. And yeah, I think it's only fair that I address it before I go on with everything else on the pod. But let me just check out this message. Oh man, my brother was here already. It's futu ngokwaso. Sibuza into yobana, Sly, are we on today? Okay. Like go 88 out 106 nationwide kulapho ndandiphangela khona nalapho sadibana khona nomjita wam sathi make sure into yokubana we keep this bond, and he's also made his name on social media platforms, especially Facebook, by taking something as simple as Photoshop and using Photoshop to alter images, for his expression, for his must be funny and all of that. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us, my brother. Yeah, he is here coping under these challenging circumstances. I'm sure inobuhlekile emveni koba ethethe loo nto leyo. Guys, I really want to get into this, but I think I should really start with the good news out of the whole thing. Yeah, about Anele. Sure, as you see there on the picture, she posted saying that, listen, I was looking for 195,000 Rand for my complete operations, to deal with my health challenges and all of this stuff. Yeah, so I think it was a couple of days, 2 days ago. So I wake up, right? Like I had posted this thing where she was pleading with the general public, people on social media platforms, to like, listen, guys, I've been paying like, now your medical aid, the challenges and all of that stuff. Right now, my life depends on the 195,000 Rand that I need in order for me to have this operation that might just save my life. Right. So a whole lot of things came from that. A whole lot of things came out of that. You know, this is the thing, like I really curated this thing before I came on, and at the same time I was like, I don't want to rehash stuff because we've got great news like this. Zendok Banish is out of there, she's done the operation. Yes, she didn't get the entire amount of money that she needed, but the whole debacle and the whole thing started around that. And my question, having been part of fundraisers, all right, somebody was being silly, yeah, but the very same year that my contract was not renewed, I went on to Algoa FM, joined 10 other men, and we collected something like 700, 750 or 780,000 Rand in 10 days for charity. And the year after that, we collected more, being joined by my boy MXO. So we've done other fundraisers as well, right? So I wake up and I'm like, okay, cool. I've posted this thing, Anele, where she's pleading and asking, the general public, people know on social media platforms, but obviously there was a hell of a lot of controversy. But my issue with it was a certain reverend who actually joined and said that, guys, please, let's make sure, let's support this lady. We know that there's a history. She's gone on, she's sworn at people, blah, 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 being disrespectful to people. But some people came in, it's like, hey, this is the same lady that took abandwana that needed to be registered. It's Kolwin. SCT, if you give me your results, I will make sure in Dobana you are registered and followed up and all of that stuff. So that's a yin and a yang. There's a good and the bad. But anyway, to come to Indoka Mfundisi, I wake up and I'm seeing the very same image that I posted. In fact, I think I have it here. Which was the original one from Anele with Anele's banking details. So this morning when I wake up, I am waking up and I'm seeing the very same thing. It's got banking details of a different person who happens to be Nceko. I don't even know the guy. Makaya. Makaya. Sorry, I'm going to butcher the name as well because it's too far. I'm not wearing my spectacles. I apologize for that. But anyway, I wake up and I'm like, okay, if you're raising money for this person, why are you putting in your banking details? I asked on his post and I did not get a response at the time. So I was like, you know what? We live in the age of scams. We live in I don't know the dude from a bar of soap. Right? If it was somebody that I'd known, Obe Tusile, for an example, putting his banking details, I was like, okay, I know Unduna, I know his background and all of that. This guy I don't know from a bar of soap. And I'm like, okay, cool. Guys, let's come on, what's going on? Do you need to put on your banking details and blah, 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 blah. What a can of worms. What a can of worms. Beautiful ones and ugly ones. But I think the thing that I get out of there, we live in the age of scams. Okay, for starters, I'm not justifying because it's something I would have done if it were a friend of mine or if I had picked up an irregularity like that, where a person puts their own the banking details on fundraising for somebody else. That is why when there are fundraisers or anything that has to do with competition and money, they will always appoint an independent accountant to make sure that they go through the statement. This is how much money you've put in the bank. Okay, let's take it to Sizwe Nsaluba or whoever, right? To make sure that the money matches the thingy, right? That's how it's done, even if it was a singular. But this time around, there are two, which is what raised my eyebrow, right? And I asked on social media platforms. There were very few people, or the people that actually gave me proper responses, one of them being Ubatusile Unduna, as I mentioned. And Dr. Nobras, like, this guy is not the first time he's doing this thing. So I'm like, oh, the only reason that I put it on social media platforms, it was because I don't know him from a bar of soap. I could not at this time, after having spoken to ANELE while she was hospitalized, I could not bother her with something like this, or her kids, or her family. So let me put it on social media platforms. So maybe someone who knows this guy will vouch for him. So that's the reason that I put it on social media platforms, buddy. Hey, I abantu landil. Abantu bandilandile, and I think for a better part, like I got the response that I wanted. But it goes into a teachable moment, guys. Like for us, for me, like I'm never gonna be angry or upset, or um take things funny, because I think every time I post something, sometimes I need answers from the general public about umenza njani ugeme, like umzekelo, okanye how do you do into ethile. My friends will be like, hey, umuncu kanene, this is how you do ugeme and stuff. But like, these were people I did not know from a bar of soap. And the conversations or the comments were um, underwhelming, but I think it's also important. It's not even people that I follow, that I talk to on a regular. But I think, sometimes, guys, when we come across the information on social media platform, let us take the time to understand what the person is asking. And I'm going to make another example of something that happened just this past weekend as well. Ulubze Landikin Epai, with the Pikelela podcast, the guy who hosts that and owns that, right? He posts something about a door that he needs people, South Africans, but is lazy, blah, blah, blah. Here's a chance if you give me a code and do all of these things. But even that was blown out of proportion to an extent. A lot of people, yeah, how dare you talk like this? This is the wrong platform for you to market this thing. Do you think abantu abafuna imisebenzi yofaka ucango baku-Facebook ungayi kwa-ATM kwa-CTM nje uzodibana nabo entoni? And the guy is, I think social media is new to a rest of us, to a lot of us, and us as entrepreneurs, we exploit it quite a lot for the benefit of our businesses or our entrepreneurship, which is how I looked at Luvio's message as well. But yes, there was something that was a little bit disturbing on it. But I think the manner in which we address each other, sometimes it becomes very important. Maybe you missed an is or a was. It was like, yeah, why are you talking about it now? It was no. I'm like, Chongo was. It was thingy. So it's just one of those things. I just figured I'm gonna raise this thing not to lash out okanye like the pendu labandu who spoke to me in a manner that was not nice, which at some point after the postil and the city, listen, uxolo bethuna, like abantu, don't come for me, don't come for ANELE, don't even come for umfundisi lo ndingamaziyo, because some other people understood and they were like, the Iceland Yakuva, maybe it's a scam or like thingy. But after getting what the whole thing was about, that's all it was. But like, there were people that just went on and on and on and on. So mine is, if you come to a post home to read, to understand, right? Ask questions if you are not clear, just like I was asking questions on social media platforms. So I think it's just one of those things. I've got a message here once again from Mazwai. We're always ready for war, Sly. Thanks for understanding. There is right there. So if you have a comment as well, maybe you are someone that I interacted with on that post and there's something that you want to say, now is the time. I'm not upset. I'm not angry at anybody. I felt grossly misunderstood. But in my being understood, with some people, ababuze kahle, I would explain to them kakuhle, and then abanye bazekrwada. I mean, ngowasekrokro guys pie. So nam bukrwada ndiyakwazi ukuveza at some point. This is after like days, people still sending stuff. But mine and most important is that like look, let's treat each other a whole lot better. If you don't understand, just ask. That was the only reason for that post. I wanted to ask, like, okay, I can't bother the family of the person affected because I had spoken to them. Oyicho mikum, and I did not raise that until later because I did not want to come get cuddling ndobana hey ndiyamazi, I know what's going on ebomini bakhe. She asked ndobana like even nam ndobana like listen, this is who's going to deal with his zam while I'm going through this. I'm weak and all of that, and that's what I took, and that's what really happened with it. So I think overall, just looking even nakwesi stories sika Luvuyo Pikelela podcast as well, in PE, like people are entrepreneurs. There's a lady, I think Uchwaita, if I'm not mistaken, or things so forever and Doni, very outlandish personality. Yes, Sana Ditengile Gusmag and blah blah blah. And a lot of people like attacked her, right? While this person found a way of promoting her work with Forever. I think it's Forever. And for me, I was like, okay, cool. Let me see less of these comments, because you can go on Facebook and say, I want to see less of the comments. Zomdu or Fanana. Not that I have anything against her. It was just not, it was just a bit tasteless for me, right? And I was like, I didn't go on and attack her on a social media platform. I did not do any of those things. I was saying, let me see less. So I think just a teachable moment on social media platforms, for us to be cordial. We are building a South Africa that we want. We want to be positive when we talk to each other and with each other. So I think I just brought that up for that reason. Okay. Yeah. My guy says, we're ready to go on war. But yeah, the great and the happiness of it, guys, is that at the end of the day, Anza is free now. She's out of danger. She's put that up, as you can see on your screen there. So yeah, in a teacup, a small yeah, something that we all made out of it. But at the end of the day, it got the word out there, even though she didn't reach her target. But at the end of the day, here she is saying that, like, Kamata has just given her another lease on life. And the doctors, I think, like, also said, like, hey, sister, let's do this thing completely so that you are thinking. So that's the the greatest that comes out of it, okay, that I think, like, we ought to appreciate as people. Yeah, so I think I will move on. But if you ever comment at some point, please make sure that you actually indulge me, because that's what we are here for. In every situation, I always say to people, I'm always looking for a lesson to learn. I'm looking for a teachable moment. Because with some of the people, like, my thing was on some, like, just the manner in which you ask. It's often not what you ask, it is how you ask it. People are in their fields. I was saying, 30th June, so a lot of people came in, all of that. But at the end of the day, that's all it was. And I hope that we can move along. And those people who still sending stuff, yeah, good luck. But anyway, we move on, guys. There's a lot happening in this country. Oh my gosh, how are we gonna make it about ourselves when there is so much drama in South Africa? Now this is another thing about South Africans. It's like, you'd be out here big, serious, and like, yeah, the Madlanga Commission, this Johnson lady, head of IDEC, is supposed to appear go Madlanga Commission and all of that. And well, she decided that she's not gonna come, or she's gonna fall sick on the day like these other guys. She's gonna fall sick on the day that she is supposed to go and give evidence. And Tatu Madlanga came very hard on her, rightfully so, guys, because I mean, like, if you look at it, I mean, like, this is disrespect. And I liked listening to radio, and an analyst was asked, an expert in the medical field, saying that the mere fact that you are going to use a certificate that is issued by the Medical Council of South Africa, you use it when you know that thing people have done. Okay, my job has never really needed a certificate on a date, like, oh, I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to go to like thing. But people have been doing this like for eons, for ages. It's like, I don't feel like going in today. Certificate, I think, like, it was taken in that context. So the expert is saying that the mere fact that umntu uzawuza kuwe kwisejari yakho athi ndicela iphepha langomso, xa ubuza yibo awuka-examine, awukathiwani, you are involved in fraud as the doctor. And I think this is one of the things that, like, people highlighted on this whole thing, right? But South Africans are just not gonna be serious about this, guys. Like, singabantu ababethathwapi? Like, where did they get us? Where did the African gods get us? We've got our African brothers and sisters, they are mad at us for saying that, hey, we want to have a family meeting. We have a president who, when he started, he said, we're going to have a family meeting right at COVID. So we are used to having family meetings. Now, how do we have a family meeting with neighbors? Yeah, so South Africans have been going through a lot, man. And I think we are those people at the height of things. We find solace, or a better way of handling things through humor. We always make fun of things. Nobody's talking anything serious as far as this thing is concerned. Everybody's on some, like, I know, iward kamadlanga iyagcwala, guys. If ujongile General Khan baphayana, Van Veek baphayana, kulamfo wangapha businessman Chomika Brown Mokgotsi naye lapha, nanku ngoku no-Andrea Johnson naye uyokungenelela. For what good reason, guys? For the why? Okay. But yeah, he did lash out the very same thing that Madlanga saying, the banner, like, guys, it's becoming a fashion, Lando, and some people get the Pan-Africanists, they took it a whole lot further. A whole lot further. But besithi ke bona ke akho mntu mnyama ukwesasibhedlele, bonke aba bantu ayingobantu abamnyama. So kutheni bona bezifumana ezilandeka? I mean, a guy like Brown Mokgotsi would have probably gone to Baragwana ahamba yofuna, but yeah, uSimuncu wakhetha into yobana uzawudubula imoto yakhe. Hey, funny country. Sekukhalwa unyanisile, Pro-Max Light. Yeah, you are so right, my brother. But I think it also helps us as a country. There are two things I think South Africans stand on when it is trying times. Xa kunzinyana elizweni. You will remember, before apartheid, up until today, kusaculwa ingoma zetoyi toyi, those things are very deep in people. They zafihla intlungu yabantu abamnyama that they were going through, so we've had these songs that have become so emboldened in our lives, being funny, humor as well. We are those people who say in the banner, like, ha ha ha, it's not nice, but we're gonna make fun of it, right? Up until we process and we deal with it. And I think it works for us as a country because we have not been a violent country. All right. We have not been a violent country. We don't know how to be violent. We've exercised Ubuntu to the point where even neighbors feel in the banner, like, anding am lo. I lo ndingamthathela building yakhe. I lo ndingamthengisela ukutya kuyi-fake. I lo, you know what I mean? Ndingamenza i-prostitute lona. Like, you've had people, like, from saying in the banner, like, how do you do this thing to another person? I know I'm I'm grappling right now, but it is the truth. And these particular stories, Tatu Madlanga, and this thing is, man, like there's another one. I think this is the best. Well, I'm like, into ngcono hambuye kubo wena Tatu Madlanga. No, yanipha kuye esibhedlele ubhuti niyombuza le mibuzo yenu nifuna uyibuza. And well, it's also thanks to AI, because this is AI generated. So this means Ndokbana, like people are interacting with technology. And I think I picked up a story about government saying that they're going to roll out more affordable devices so that South Africa is connected, so that nobody is sitting without a smartphone, whether you want to do banking, whether ufuna ufunda, noba ufuna ukwenza ntoni na. So which is a great thing. And I think let use the social media platforms or TikTok, the videos that you like thingy, so that ukwazi uqhelana kwakunye technology and we're able to use it. I mean, like the guys abaqala iziphaza shops right now, like back in the day, sasidla fola to a white boy, a central, oh my gosh, I forget his name now. He used to work for this printing thingy. He was the best at doing Ilandiga e-posters. We used to sifole for kuya kuye, semnike like some 500, some 250 rand, like, and all of that in order for him to design posters. Now you can do that sitting at your home, or saving money. So when you start that spaza shop of yours, like, use AI. All right, ask questions. How can I do into Tila and all of that? So I think, like, more than anything, with this whole Madlanga thing and how you guys just think Yonginjon don't you joke. I'm over you, damn South Africans. You guys, you take the cake. I'm sure that's why even the other guys like felt in the band like, let's leave these people with their country, man. They don't take us seriously. They don't take us serious. So it's a lot, man, guys. So there's that. So Andrea Johnson, the head of IDEC, was supposed to appear kumadlanga, decided ndobana uzawuthumela certificate axelele umadlanga ndobana like, hey bro, andikwazi uza kule way yakho man, ndinento endigula yiyo. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, that's that, man. Let's find out who else. What is yakhala go to graphic designers, ngale AI? So true, Mazwai. A lot of designers are like, I like as I say, we used to say, my Kamala Kelilapal yeah, if you used to do printing as central, please, the short white boy was very good with designing, and it was very quick. So when we would be doing events and all of that, like, we go to him to do posters and stuff. But now I sebenzisa AI me senalo lo xesha elo. But anyway, we move on, ladies and gents, on to the next story. Back to square one as Kit Matlala walks away from plea deal. This is a very interesting story. Now you will remember, Ndobana, Mr. Matlala, he was busy, saying in Ndobana, yeah, now was our cut deal, Tati Madlanga, and walk away from this whole thing, but it wasn't to be his comeback. And I'm not sure what it is. What do you think? Like, he rejected the 12-year prison sentence, and he walked away. Okay. So he walked away from his plea deal with the state on Monday, namhlanje, sending the 228 million rand police tender corruption case back to square one. Remember, he's the guy who said, I'm not deserving. Let me just read a little bit of the story for you. They say that Matlala appeared before Magistrate Ignatius Dupreez in the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, where his counsel confirmed that he would not accept the sentence the court had recommended. I've been informed by counsel on your behalf in respect of yourself, accused 2 and 3, that it is your choice to withdraw from the plea and sentence agreements as you decline to accept the court's recommended sentence. This is what Dadu Dupree's had to say in the magistrate. Yeah, so Matlala, you'll remember, man, like I'm not going to go through the whole thing. The Medicare 24 Tswane district thing, and look, all Africa brand investment listed as accused 2 and 3, which he all owns. Now, Matlala pleaded guilty, okay, on June 25 to 7 counts of fraud, corruption, and money laundering linked to the police health tender awarded to Medicare 24 Tswane district. Okay, so a whole lot of stuff happened there. Now, yeah, I think I had a video of when that was told to him.
The way forward, practically what's going to happen, he didn't have full details of it. So.
Thank you. Mr. Matlala, I've been informed by counsel on your behalf in respect of yourself, accused 2 and 3, that it is your choice to withdraw from the plea and sentence agreement as you decline to accept the court's recommended sentence. Do you confirm in respect of yourself?
And one of them,
that
he's
is the
accused
position?
1.
Accused 2? Do you confirm? And accused 3? Thank you. The plea and sentence agreement is to be regarded as null and void. Date?
The 11th of September, 2026, Your Worship.
Which the date is not discussed with me. If you can just bear with me, please.
Sure.
Are you available? If you wish, just bear with me. If I can. Your Worship, the 11th is fine. Thank you. And it will be back to this week.
Mr. Matlala, the matter against you, as well as accused 2 and 3, is then postponed until the 11th day of September 2026. It is in order for the prosecution and defense to determine the way forward in the matter, as the plea and sentence agreement has now been declared null and void. You will remain in custody.
All right, that is the Matlala thing, okay? Yeah, so his case will now be heard way later, okay? As far as it is concerned, now that he's said that, like, I am not taking this thing, me, I'm not taking this thing, I judge, you know, wait. But anyway, now this story, part of the reason why I bring this up, the SIU investigates financial irregularities in the construction of 3 Free State schools. They say that the SIU has been granted the green light to probe heavy allegations of maladministration and financial waste within the Free State Department of Education. The SIU will focus on the construction of Caleb Motabi Primary School, formerly known as Tuto Kitebe Primary School, Maleboho Primary School, and Klolo Primary School. The investigation will cover the period from 1 March 2014 until the date of the proclamation. Now, according to the SIU investigators, they will scrutinize whether procurement processes for the school construction projects complied with applicable legislation. Yes, we have Umteto, National Treasury and Provincial Treasury regulations, as well as the department's own procurement policies and procedures. So it is feared that there's a lot that has gone wrong as far as this is concerned. I'm gonna breeze through this story, guys, because hey, we just recovered from a bursary a scandal in the Free State. It appears there's a lot. I think, like with the Department of Education there, as far as it is concerned, yeah, there's a lot. People are being found wanting there. They say that beyond procurement, the SIU said it will investigate whether officials, employees, contractors, the service providers as well, or any other individuals involved in the projects engaged in irregular, unlawful, or improper conduct during those that stuff happening there. So it's very interesting, man. Yeah. Hi. But on the other side, man, like yeah, that's the reason why I brought it. And I think, like, right now with the March and March, we've gotten Isbindi of calling out political parties zethu ezenza thina otubete. We have also decided in Dokbana we are going to organize ourselves as abahlali and approach government departments, home affairs, for an example, the police, for an example, to say this is what we want, where the voice of the people is heard in the absence of the voice of government. And I think it's for us to continue being constructive, guys. Let's not really get into things like criminality, because we are really fixing this country. If we really want to fix it to be everything that we want, I think it's for us to make sure that we do not abuse this opportunity that we've taken, get 30th June, ladies and gents. That's all I'm trying to say. If you know that there's an irregularity in Free State and there's somebody that take bloody nonsense. Level nobody ndiyakwazi uthuka kule postcards. No. We move on, guys. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing funny about that. Now, okay, it still brings me back to the 30th of June. It brings me back to how South Africans have been victimized on social media platforms, linking to the first story that we had, where we get bullied by people deciding to call us xenophobic just because we are calling out their bullshit of feeding our people expired food, fake alcohol, fake cold drinks, fake everything. Of people who come from another country, enter here illegally, and then proceed to go and hijack buildings, some of which go out and sell drugs, some of which continue to prostitute young girls, right? We are not allowed to say that, as much as we see it every day and it affects us. If we do, we are going to be called xenophobic. So fuck you and calling us xenophobic. You can call me xenophobic. I went and marched because I go to the hood, to the township every now and then. I've got family that lives in the townships. I've got people that I must call every week. All right, stop going to buy there. I don't even have enough money to give them to go buy it elsewhere. But mine is to say, don't go buy there. Those people are trying to kill you. So you are going to call me xenophobic for looking out for my family. How silly can you be? But anyway, we are on this story, it's a manhunt, right? They decided, Nabelung Babo, they are going to hire these people who are in the country illegally because they are nice, they don't steal, they are not lazy, they are not like South Africans. Guess what a Malawian queen did? Hold on. Guess what the Malawian lady did? She said, okay, reloading. She was working for this family in Durban, and they had jewelry in the house. So the lady decided that, okay, okay, sharp. She made away with jewelry valued at approximately 1 million rand, including 10,000 rands in cash. This lady is 28 years old. Yabona ba ukwa namagama amaninzi. Waziwa njengoFatima Lawrence. No, Fatima Lawrence from Malawi. Okay, but anyway, they also know her as Esther, according to her passport. Believed to have been employed as a domestic worker by the family for the past 7 years. This person. Now, this is what we were talking about, you stupid ass motherfuckers who decided that you're going to employ illegals. With South Africans, you know exactly where you are going to find your domestic worker South African if they were to pull something like this. Right? All you needed to do was to pay them the minimum wage, or strive to, or assist a person. Imagine somebody works for you for a month and you give them 1,500 rand. You don't need that service. So you were happy to do that. And look at you now. 1 million rand the lady has made out. The car dealers in Cape Town, I think one had a fucking car, like AKA Viano. That a foreign guy hired, and then after hiring, he disappeared in the thin air via borders and stuff. Another one did that with a truck that is owned by a business in South Africa. Oh no, we need you to go deliver these things in Zambia, in Mozambique, and Zimbabwe. Gone with the truck and the load of goods. Because, hey, South Africans are lazy. If Nguvuyane was a Motherwell, okanye Mtanzania, okanye Khayelitsha, you were going to find that person. Because they were born here. They got IDs and shit. But then again, let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. Okay, guys, what about talk? No, bayakucaphukisa, bro. No, people are annoying. People are annoying. Like for everybody from where, even people who've never been to South Africa, yeah, they are lazy, those ones. They are lazy, those South Africans. They don't want to do anything. All they ever do is drink. And you forget that. To date, some of the wineries in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, they still pay minimum wage and then baphinde babhatala abantu ngotywala. People have given birth to abantwana who have physical challenges and mental challenges because they had no choice but to take this money abayinikwayo kuthiwa the rest sanibhatala ngepatyutyu. What do? They do that and like thingy. The very same people you have not assisted in making sure that you change behavior yomntu omnyama eMzantsi Afrika. Like in Dokbana, like utywala buyabulala. Have you joined that? Or are you doing it because it's regulation? Do you go out to Komakaya Mnandi, all these places where you employ people like farmers in, and say, guys, it was wrong of us to pay you ngotywala. Now you are like talking about, yeah, they're alcoholics, yeah, they do all of these things. Let alone that the Department of Health in South Africa has really not fucking done anything in terms of campaigning around the dangers of alcohol. And now there's fake alcohol that is killing South Africans. That is just but one out of the many things that people accuse us of and not look into what the cause is and help to fix that. But anyway, guys, hey, why am I going off the rails now? Hey. Let me find out. Oh my gosh, who's this now? Handpick, waving hand, who's this now? Liabona, I don't know this thing. Please don't bring gambling onto my podcast, you nonsense. What is this thing written here? Liabona? Wena chum. Okay, maybe it's something there. But I see you, my brother. But there's a message I'm not seeing clearly there. But anyway, man. We move on, and these are things that we need to be proud of as South Africans. We have not broken the law. We have not built shacks as dolopini zethu because we understand in Dokbana there are bylaws. We have not gone into Sandton and hijacked izindlu zabantu and built sibe umbane. Because as much as people keep making a joke about history yetu, you still have abantu abamhlophe as your bosses and stuff. There is also something fundamentally great about South Africans. We have values. We value people. We value the law. This is why it's probably taken 32 years to speak up against the fucking African National Congress and all of that nonsense, But anyway, we have not done that because we understand in Dokbana there are bylaws. Kukho imithetho nemigaqo eqinisekisayo into yokubana awukwazi into yokubana mawuthengise kwi-pavement. Awukwazi into yokubana mawuvelwe wakho umkhukhu. Awukwazi into yokubana mawuthathe indlu yomntu uyenze yakho. Noba umthetho ukuthethelela kangakanani na. So these are things that I would love South Africans to say in the banner, like you can call us xenophobic, vigilantes and all of that nonsense, but this is who we are inherently are. We've accommodated you, family, from other countries for so long, being let down by a government. We've lived side by side with you up until you started taking us for a pee. Up until you figured it's okay to feed my grandparents abahleli ezilalini who are retiring fake cool drinks, fake what do you call this thing? Oh my gosh, expired food. Until you felt that it is okay to do that, and you call yourself you're doing business, legit business, and you want to be protected by the South African laws. No, we come from Bangladesh. No, we come from Pakistan. We are here just making a living. Fuck you. Sell people proper shit. Then we can talk about how you entered the country. Then we can talk about your other papers. Okay. This podcast is going south. Because it's upsetting, guys. It's upsetting. But anyway, that's what that lady did. That lady said, yeah. And these are the very same businesses that after they've abused these people that came into the country illegally, when they don't want to pay them, bahamba bayoba-reporta to Home Affairs and to the police so that bangababhadali imali yenyanga behlala ezifama zabo. Hey, actually, hey, find a way, they're not from South Africa, hey? They're not from the land of South Africa. Yeah, they've been there camping there by my farm, and they said that they're gonna leave. So I said they must do little things now, but now I want them out, I don't even think they have passports. But yet you are the very same person who decided to do away with South Africans who are working your freaking farms. There's one lady who's like, yeah, I've been employing people from Malawi for the past 20 years. Oh, girl, did you see how you saw your ass from doing that because you were doing something illegal? And you thought you were being holier than thou. And you wonder why there's such unemployment in South Africa. And people keep talking about restaurants. Yeah, South Africans don't want to work in restaurants. Let me make you an example. My dear sister, uqala kwakhe e high school, right up until wagqiba e tertiary, she was working as a waitress. And I think when she got to a tertiary, she was employed by a company I am not going to mention. She got work experience from doing that job from standard 6, grade 8. Abantwana bethu, in order for them to get experience, they had to become waiters. Into yobana esi similo basifundiswa phaa endlini bayakwazi into yobana batreat abanye abantu ukwenzela uba ngomso xa ehambe yoqeshwa emsebenzini uyayazi indlela yothetha emsebenzini. And you're telling us into yokubana like South Africans did not need those jobs. Uyothatha inkothovu isuka ngapha eMalawi taking umsebenzi womntana ose high school, ose tertiary, to make extra money for them. And you say, no, South Africans don't like to do that job. Hell, they don't. One last piece of advice, once again, before I move on. I'm probably even going to stop the podcast roundabout now, right? Yeah, let me just check this one. Yeah, it's futu side effects. Yeah, it's all facts, bro. That's that. Like, I really like. This is why I started this podcast. Not for other people to engage as well. That's Slyso ndiyabulisa kwa hospital kwa kulabantu kwa paparika. Uvuyo sent us a message. Guys, I think we need to take ourselves seriously. And this is an opportunity for people who are entrepreneurs out there. We've been talking about these delivery guys, but Shukucha and all of that stuff. Now that they've left, I've seen that like there've been government interventions, shit that you should have done like fucking ages ago. But anyway, we are saying in the manner like, okay, finally you've seen the light after the vigilantes and the xenophobia people decided to march. Now you are affording those opportunities. There was a group of about 20 young South Africans who were employed at a construction site. I think it was in KZN after Abanbuk Fika Beambile. And all they needed to do at the particular time was to have a South African ID. Obaone trade is akusebenzela ishap. So these are opportunities that have come. Even last week, I told you about the officials, right? The border officials, about home affairs and all of that. 301 of them were employed. And now you were telling me, like South Africans did not need these jobs all of this time. But anyway, guys, let's move on. Yeah, there's this particular one. I love this one. This lady, I didn't even do any research on the journalist from Nigeria that was here. She had a conversation. No, Jacinta. I'm accuser of all things, but Jacinta, say what you want to. That lady is smart. And she knows how to deal with issues. Yes, she's an emotional person like the rest of us because of what's going on, I'd like to believe. But she is very smart and she knows her story. I don't know that lady's name, but like she was in the press conference. She's from Nigeria. Now somebody said something very important. There's a difference between a journalist and a social media person. I don't know her credentials, but judging from how long the question that she asked during a press briefing, anyone who's a journalist who's ever been to a press briefing, you know exactly how brief you need to show to keep it, because that's what they call it, a press briefing, right? She went on asking the minister to apologize and blah 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 and all of that. Kubai did the Lord's work in response.
What we stand and speak on as ministers is on the basis of South African laws.
But what she said wasn't really South African law. Sorry.
Maybe that's allow the minister to speak.
Allow the minister to finish. I feel all the way to here.
No, my dear. One thing, what is going to help us first is respect for each other. Respect for the office that we occupy, because we are ministers of the state. I don't think there's any South African journalist or any South African citizen that will disrespect your sitting minister or a government official. It's not done, and it must never be done. So I thought I should literally say that. And I deliberately took this opportunity to clarify as the chair of the IMC. When people have been killed, the round will be opened again. How we conduct our media briefings is that we open the round, everybody asks, then answers. Please don't be disruptive to our media briefing.
I put my hand up, that's not disruptive.
There's procedure that the chair does.
I put my hand up.
No, they will call for the hand when I'm done.
I put my hand up.
I'm going to appeal to you again to respect me as the Minister of the Republic of South Africa. Please. You are here to interact with us. Please, we are appealing to you. Now, when you disrupt us while we are answering your question, it's not helpful at all.
Here she is.
And I want to reiterate, we appeal because South Africa has not, and it's not actually in this point. Any attacks or anything has not been done.
There she is. Like, how do you can't tell another country how to do its job. Who are you? There are diplomatic relations. If there's any apology that needs to be done by another state to people of another country, that is not spoken at your level, young girlie. All right? And and my thing was like, let's take for like let's make an example. Let's say Umam Sophie, who's worked and retired and still working international relations desk, heading the international relations desk at the SABC. Let's take Sherwin Bryce Peace, who's based in I think he's in New York or DC, right? Who's a correspondent for the South African Broadcasting Corporation, and there are a whole lot of others. Can you imagine if these people were to have a conversation with Putin, have a conversation with a minister from China, from the United States, and behave in a manner that this young girlie decided to disrespect our country? It goes back to what I was saying, is that you can say whatever you want to say about South Africans. Isimilo sinaso, sikhuliswe ngendlela. This thing kuthiwa bubuntu, it goes a long way. It includes indlela yokuthetha nabantu. Now, if you're going to be that disrespectful, right? The South African government is not my favorite. They're not my favorite people at the moment, right? They're not, because they fucking shit up left, right, and center. That's why we want them out, for that matter. So you can try new people, have the country go a different direction. But at the same time, do not gang up against the South Africans. Sugezele South African, right? As much as Banano, Kachalia, they all woke up now and they decided to address the lady finally, responding to what March and Dudula and all the other political parties have been saying for the longest time ever. Now they're paying attention to it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Anyway, the Nigerian disruptor seems high on drugs. Akuchomna. Pedi. There's the message there, guys. Akuchomna. Yeah, she appeared like engathi wakho hlisa ukukhwantwa mntu hey izokwenza lento. Yeah, but anyway, umnyamezele kakhulu umphathiswa, mna bendizothi makawutsiba umgubazi. Yar. Kutsho futhi. No, she was very disrespectful, and I think it's one of these things that we learn and we should be proud of as abemi baseMzantsi Afrika. A lot of things have been said about us. Sinyabile, we have not taken the country from abantu abamhlophe. Sinyabile, siyeke i-ANC, isiqhele ama-Simba chips for over 32 years. But once a South African has decided, no, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and please don't forget, the Queen has her event, Ladies in Pyjama Night. This is happening in East London, 29th of August. So make sure that you go check her out. Just go to msenganatobeka@gmail.com and make your booking. It's a night where ladies are going to be in pajamas. They're going to be discussing, challenges that, single ladies, by the way, it is said there, for single women. So go to about chatile, sorry, but anyway, you want to be there. She's a counseling psychologist. So she's going to have probably like a couple of sessions where you guys get to discuss this in depth and obviously offer some assistance. And I think when we spoke, hers was in Dokbana, like she wants single ladies, baboleke room. You see, this is how we do in South Africa. This is how we do. We have family meeting. Now there's a family meeting for single women that is happening in East London, right? On the 29th of August, being organized by the queen of the podcast, Tobeka Msengan. So make sure that you dial up and you also go hang out with it. But guys, South Africans, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Please do follow us and share our TikTok stuff. We need a number so that we can also broadcast the podcast on TikTok as well. Do follow us on social media platforms and all of that nice stuff. But and as I said, that like when we start the new season, we will have things like this cup and a whole lot of other stuff that we will be giving away to random people that follow us and all of that. They will also be available for sale as well. If you want to check them out, how the cups look and how the merchandise look, you can go to www.slyso.co.za, check out the website, and everything else will come. Uthini uvuyo ngoku sendihamba? Uthi bayageza abantu babulala abantwana bethu ngezi drugs kuthiwa bona bazi hard workers zokubulala abantwana bethu. Yeah, there's the message coming from Uvuyo. Right here on the Slyso TV podcast. Guys, I must say thank you very much. Let's hang out kwakhona Klevik Zayo Gomvulo. Yeah, it's been a nice one. I wonder what are we going to do like this week? Yeah. Skutele ngoku sizi South Africans. Ready nje. We're ready for action now. We want action. Hey, you want to give us Ubers? Hey, you want to give... The advice that I wanted to give you was like everywhere we go, guys, like in every township, kukhona obhuti abaziphangalelayo, abanye zigrutmane eziretirishileyo, bane bikers club. Dithi kwababhuti banezo bikers club, here's an opportunity to make sure ndokubana like you start a business for these boys zezikuta, assist them. Over and above assisting them, make sure that you monitor them, okay, so that they do not get into crime and all of that. So if you're a bikers club, you have an opportunity, to come together, right? Because some of these bikers club people, business people, come together, buy 10 bikes for NU10 Tanzania, train those boys on how to ride, make sure they are responsible, they have someone who mentors them, they have someone they report to, an accountability partner or person, right? The opportunities are there. They are for us to take them right now, ladies and gents. Come on, man. Let me be out of here for real. One love, Africa.